So here we are in the World Education Forum. We have about 1,500 people from about 180 countries, I think it is. There's a framework for action which has been drafted, which is now being negotiated. We see that many elements in that framework for action are very good, and there are some really strong targets in there around financing. We are worried that some of the northern governments will be attempting to remove some of the most important commitments. The commitments that governments should be spending at least 6% of their GDP on education, or at least 20% of national budgets should be spent on education. We know that there will be a pushback from the United States, from Canada, from the UK and others who want to remove that language. And yet the vast majority of governments in Africa, Asia and Latin America want that language in there. And it's just really important to have clear benchmarks for what we expect governments to spend on education. So we will have some battles this week to defend that financing targets and benchmarks are in those in this final framework for action. Another big battle will be around indicators, the indicators that are used to evaluate progress on education. There are some people who want to focus on very narrow indicators and test education simply based on whether children learn to read and write, simple literacy and numeracy tests. It's not that that's not important, but if you're only looking at that, you end up with very distorted education systems. So we need a much more complex approach to how we evaluate the impact of quality education. What quality education means is a combination of the inputs, quality teachers particularly, the processes, good quality, participatory, engaging teaching, learning processes, and a wide range of outcomes, some of which are cognitive outcomes, some non-cognitive, social and emotional skills, attitudes and values of tolerance, critical thinking and problem solving. We need to value these things as really important learning outcomes. But we will face a battle with some of the governments pushing back and saying, no, we just want to have simple tests of reading and writing. That's going to be a big battleground over this week.